Network Entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, our very special musical guest. Pili na lang kayo. Either ABBA or Meryl Streep.
Alam ko na yung ABBA eh. Sige, ABBA. Para mas panahon mo.
As-
Welcome to the show. It's gonna be a spicy one.
Like I said, let's welcome ABBA. Money, money, money. It must be sunny in the rich man's world.
I know.
Wait, sorry. The rage is coming
I
out.
know. Medyo
The
nagigil
rage
ka. Diba?
is coming out.
It is sunny in the rich man's world because they
It's
can
always
afford
sunny.
to travel anywhere else.
No, they can afford to turn off the rain.
That's true.
Now, the question is if they got the money from marangal na paraan or not.
Clearly not. All right, I have another musical guest.
Let's please.
Please welcome Meha. It's all about the money.
Money, money.
It's all about the dum dum da da dum dum.
The
Which is us at this point because we keep voting them. You know?
Yes.
Yes.
Or at least we keep voting the people who would get into a contract with them.
I mean, technically not us per se,
Not
but you know, us
per-
as a people.
yeah. Collectively.
Yeah. Those are our musical guests for today. I have another one.
Oh, okay.
Please welcome Jermaine Dupri and Jay-Z.
Okay.
Boom, 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 boom. And the Ferrari and Jaguar switching 4 lanes, top down, screaming out, money ain't a thing for them
for
because they get it
them.
from us.
Yes.
And our
us,
hard-earned taxes.
we don't have money.
Wala.
The rage.
Oh, yes. A lot
It's
of
all the rage.
unbridled angst, hate, rage, fury, whatever other synonyms you can think of. What?
Okay, I could feel it right here.
Yeah.
Emanating.
Okay.
Ah,
First off, welcome to OnlyFun. His name is Chico Garcia.
and his name is Gino.
Before we talk about the show that
Okay.
we're going to be talking about today, let me put things into perspective for
Okay.
everybody out
Okay,
there.
okay,
This is
okay,
going to be, I know we're called OnlyFun, but forgive us.
Yes,
Just
fine.
for this episode,
Go.
we are furious. Okay? Let me put it this way.
Mm.
You built a resort with your hard-earned money from your 60 plus years
my
in radio. Okay, fine. 40.
The rage.
The rage. Okay. You let's just say you paid like, kunwari lang, 10 million. Kunwari lang. 10 million yung ginastos mo, di ba? Of course, yung 10 million mo na yon, 30% niyan, malamang nagbayad ka ng tax for whatever you buy.
Oh, yes.
Di ba? For whatever you buy. May real estate taxes ka pa. May taxes ka pa for the actual construction material, for the labor, whatever. So your resort now could have been 30% bigger. That could have been an extra room that you could have rented out, or bigger pool, bigger, space or whatever, or bigger operating expenses. And that's just the resort you built. In the 50 plus years you've been on this earth, bumait na nga ako, hindi na nga 60 eh. 50 plus
Because
years.
that would be a lie. Not that 50 isn't.
But imagine, okay, you've been a taxpayer since I would assume you were in your 20s. So that's 30 to 40 years of paying taxes. 30 to 40 years of everything that you have worked hard for, kinukuhanan ng 30%, 34%, depende. May 12%
Di ba
VAT
tinaasan
pa.
nga tayo pag entertainment?
May 12% VAT pa yan. All of this money that you never really see working for you. Because if you go to a hospital, do you go to a public hospital? Chances are you don't. Because the lines are crazy. You know what I mean? And luckily, we are still lucky enough to be able to afford a private hospital. But technically, we shouldn't be able to do that. I mean, we shouldn't be doing that because that should have been covered by the government. Same with education. And this is where my pain comes from. I have 3 children. Tuition is not cheap. You know what I mean? So yes, I am very, very furious.
And like since you brought it up, it's not just like the actual construction materials. And remember, meron pa kaming, naging problema with a contractor.
Diba? Oo. And on a different level din yan.
Iba pa to, ha? Iba pa to. Hindi pa
Tsaka
to
nakakatawa dito.
Hindi pa to yung national rage, ha?
Yung na-highlight pa lang ngayon is one...
Oh, it's nothing.
It's not even the branch of government that
It's
is
a
known
start.
for corruption in general.
Ito yung ito yung let them eat cake.
Yes. That is exactly what I was thinking about. I
Let
mean, you
them
lived through
eat
those times,
cake.
diba? When Marie Antoinette told the French revolutionaries, let them eat cake when they were dying of hunger.
Sabi ko sa kanya, ate, wag masyadong
Tonette!
Wag mong i-post yan. Merci. S'il vous plaît.
Alam mo, pag ginawa mo yan, mabubuko tayo. Shit! I am so mad. I am livid.
Oh my God. Livid la vida loca.
Livid la vida loca.
Pwede
Alam mo,
pa yan, no?
ito na lang talaga yung, you know, it's sad, but humor is the only thing that we have to fight against it as of the moment.
It's still free.
Diba? Because, you know, and great. I'm so happy that, you know, there's a hearing that's happening. But I have so many... Like, is there anything that's actually going to happen past the hearings? Also, did you listen to the hearings? It's the dumbest line of questioning I've ever encountered. I swear. It's like, ano to, tambay ba kayo? Or, alam mo yung parang, di ba dapat parang court of law to? You know what I mean? Like, we're supposed to have like some semblance of professionalism here. Why are the questions so...
I mean, you know, like, my gosh, kung tayo man lang sanang nandun. Like, for example, sana you hear questions like, ano yung favorite number mo sa electric fan?
Exactly.
Diba?
Ano yung talagang favorite color mo? Diba? Kasi ganun yung level ng questioning eh.
You know, it's so weird because nagkataon talaga. I swear to you, nagkataon. I don't know, I forgot why. I think people were talking about it. Especially season 3. People have been saying like, and I've been seeing it on my ex.
Yeah.
Na yung the Gilded Age.
Right.
But then they're talking about season 3, but I haven't seen anything from it.
Sorry. I just have a little bit more
Okay,
that I
okay.
need to let out.
Sige,
because
sige.
I've always been very passionate about how people drive.
Yes.
Because for me, it is the most, I guess, equalizing of all things.
Yeah.
Na parang, whether you're commuting, whether you're driving, we're all stuck in the same shitty traffic every single day. Right? Ito na lang. Kunwari, so sino man nakikinig sa amin? Kunwari ikaw, nagtatrabaho ka na maigi. Sasabihin ko sa'yo, oy, Chico, akin yan 34% ng pera mo. Tapos pag tinanong mo bakit, wala, kailangan mo eh. Mandatory. Akin yung 34% mo. And whatever your kinikita, sabihin natin kumikita ka ng 5 million a year. Ako, meron na akong 27 billion pesos. Pero kukunin ko pa rin yung 34% mo. Hindi dahil kailangan ko, pero dahil wala. You owe me that 34% because these are mandatory taxes. I'm gonna get that. And I'm sure masama loob mo. Kasi diba parang, ang dami mo nang pera, kinukuhunan mo pa yung mga tao na wala ng pera or naghihirap na. Or alam mo yung sakto lang yung pera nila. Tapos, you have the audacity to buy all of these magnificent cars that we can only dream of, and then, it's not enough. Buti sana ako sabihin mo, okay, naka-Lamborghini ako, naka-Ferrari ako, wala pala silang Ferrari, naka-Rolls Royce ako. Pero pag nasa traffic tayo, papatigilin ka pa. Uunahan ka pa. Iko-convoy wang-wang ka pa. Alam mo yung hindi na enough na, kung ako magnanakaw, sasabihin ko parang, sige, ninakawan ko na, pila na lang ako sa likod. It's the least I can do. Kasi ninakawan na rin kita ng lifestyle mo eh. Maganda na yung lifestyle ko eh. Mas stuck na lang ako sa traffic. Hindi pa sapat. Alam mo yung parang...
Hello! Kung ganun ka ng level na magnanakaw, ina-assume mo na may conscience pa sila eh. Ay, gagawin mo yun. Kung meron ka, kung may conscience ka ba na gano'n, na sumasama loob mo na, crap, ninakawan ko sila. The least I could, it means you still have a soul.
Alam mo, I would like to believe.
Hello!
I would like to believe that there are thieves out there who steal because it's necessary. Diba? Like, the person who steals because they need to feed their family. You know, I know it's wrong, but to some degree, I still understand it. Kasi parang, you do it out of a necessity to keep your loved ones alive.
They need to feed their family.
Wow. In France? Fuck! Okay, sorry.
On a whim.
Please feel free to edit the profanity out. It's just...
No, because yun nga.
Kakabahin ko lang ng taxes.
I know.
Tapos sana man lang may tax break tayo, diba? Na parang, oh guys,
hindi
sorry
dinagdagan nga nila, diba?
We messed up eh. So, you know, we'll give you guys a break. We won't take anything from you for like a year. And even if they don't take anything for a year, that still won't cover for the amount of years that they've been taking from us. So, Gilded Age.
Hindi kasi nga, like, when we were, you know, when this first came out, yung season 1,
Yeah.
saktong-sakto. Kasi kayo ni Del, you've been watching Downton Abbey, di ba?
Yes.
I remember that. You were still
Mr. Crawley.
boarding together. You would talk about it, the two of you.
Yeah.
That's ako strange because that's actually up my alley. But for some reason, parang, ewan ko, parang wala, ganun ako eh.
Reminds you of the good times.
Nasa, hindi may atraso sa akin si Maggie Smith. Nung bata
Bago
kami.
siya maging dame.
Binubuli niya ako nun sa playground. Hindi, kasi, so for some reason, I never got to watch it. So, fast forward, I got to watch it way after it was done and over with. Pati, di ba, may movie pa nga yun, di ba? Or something.
Yeah. There's actually a new movie coming out now.
And,
for Downton Abbey.
When the Gilded Age season 1 came out, saktong-sakto, kakatapos ko ng Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
So parang ako, for me, it was like, I'm already watching Downton Abbey. And
Right.
it's probably the best one out there. So parang I was like, it looks like a copycat. It looks like para siyang it's the same thing.
It's not set in the UK.
Parang US version.
It's New York.
It's New York version. But it, gets
Right.
parang the whole vibe of it. Old rich
with their
versus new
valets
rich.
and Although Downton Abbey, they were old rich.
Puro old rich.
Old rich
sila.
sila lahat. Si lang, parang it was a bunch of people that were old rich that wanted to do jobs.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes.
Di ba yun yung na parang, why are you a doctor? Why are you doing a job? You're not, all you're supposed to be doing is charity.
Tsaka di ba yung classic line ni Maggie Smith, yung what's a weekend?
Yeah.
Kasi, hello.
Every
She
day.
literally doesn't know what it is.
Every day is a weekend for
because
them.
there's no work. So
Yeah.
there's no weekday. There's no weekend. Grrr, ito na naman na tayo. Yung mukha niya. Guys, yung mukha niya. Okay. And,
Kasi alam mo yung struggle na every month nag-iisip ka kung saan ka hahagilap ng pera para lang mabuhay yung pamilya mo. I know it sounds dramatic, but alam mo yung to some degree, it's true.
no.
Tapos,
Yeah. So, yeah, so I skipped it completely. Didn't have any plans to watch it. As yun nga, medyo na deluge ako dun sa, yung parang, ang dami ko nakikita, season 3 is amazing. Season 3 is amazing. I was like, okay, fine.
Let's watch
so,
it.
panoorin ko. So, I started
Came at
watching
the
a
right
couple
time.
of couple of episodes. Pumatok to. Like after that, siguro
okay.
a week after.
Yeah.
And I was about to message you na parang, you wanna do Gilded Age? So let's just talk about parang wealth lang in general.
Wealth in general.
In general, like our struggle
how we
with it.
fantasize about
na parang,
it.
like let's be real. We're not poor. We didn't grow up poor.
Yeah.
Pero alam mo yun nga yung 'di ba, like to you're rich compared to poor people. You're poor compared to rich people.
Yeah.
And you're really like nowhere, to be honest.
Yeah.
It depends on like
We are poverty line compared to these
we're like 6 feet under compared to these people. So when this came out, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect thing. Kasi alam mo yung, we don't have to talk about the entire series, but it's more like, dito lumalabas yung the snootiness of the old rich versus the new rich.
And even if the old rich don't have as much money as the new rich. Yeah.
The new rich are actually richer.
Yeah.
But the old rich are still looking down on them, turning up their noses. Na parang like, and sa totoo lang,
You don't deserve to be part of this club.
I have experienced this IRL. Yung parang, I've seen it.
Okay.
And talagang ganun yung, I remember one time.
You encountered like an old rich person?
Hindi naman. Well, yeah, I know a couple of them. Pero like, I remember, I heard a line from a friend. And there was this other friend. Sabihin na natin si A at si B.
Okay.
So si B may boylet tuloy. May dinedate.
Alam mo, huli na rin. Sabihin
Okay,
mo na
fine.
lang, di ba?
Si B may boylet.
Oh.
Si B may boylet. Tapos si A, nag-gathering, nag-party. So dinala ni B si boylet. Si boylet.
Okay.
You know?
Kailangan ng load, gano'n.
So, ganon. Sabi niya, NOCD. I was like,
NOCD?
Alam ko lang, BRP, LOL, anong NOCD? Not our class, dear.
Oh, damn. Damn, you actually heard that line?
Yeah.
Damn.
And it wasn't a joke. Yung parang like, why did you bring that creature here?
I have never encountered anybody. I mean, I would hear like parang, napaka-classless naman ito, or napaka-crash naman, or ang jologs naman ito.
You parang you can
But
have your fun, but why'd you bring that person here?
Damn. Damn.
Yeah. So, alam mo yun. Tapos, I've experienced people, kasi like okay, context. My parents grew up like dirt poor. Like dirt poor.
Okay.
Like my dad started out, labandero siya sa, just as a little homage to my dad. He was literally the labandero of an accountant of the company.
Okay.
Okay? So yung company, merong one accountant, one
Yeah.
small teeny tiny, not even the head accountant, just
Yeah,
an
just an
accountant.
accountant.
Siya yung naglalaba nung clothes nung family nung accountant.
Yeah.
Tapos, sila yung parang gusto nila pag magpapalaba sila in plancha, dapat si daddy kasi siya yung pinakamagaling of the family. Mas silang magkakapatid. They
Right.
had like a laundry thing going on. To the point na parang, you know what, why don't you work for me? Be my like
Personal.
parang messenger.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And then eventually, he became an accountant.
Wow, okay.
And then eventually, by the time that he died, he was the general manager of that company.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, you know, nowadays parang ang hirap na niya mangyari.
Yeah.
Not like yung in that age na parang uso pa yung rags to riches.
Right.
Nowadays, especially if you watch, like if yung mga video sa X, di ba, yung mga sa States,
Yeah.
they're saying like, you know, what our parents experience, we can no longer
We can
do
no
it.
longer do it, yeah.
Yung parang yung ganon na like they're already doing 3 jobs
Yeah.
and they're like, and I still can't afford
To
rent.
pay rent, yeah. That's
You know,
true.
and not even in like New York, like some small towns
Yeah.
in one corner of the United States. So, you know, something's really wrong with the
Actually,
setup.
no, if you think about it, like even my dad started out, he was in a farm in Antique. His mom was a teacher. And as early as high school, he had to move. So Antique is it's about a 3-hour drive from Iloilo. Essentially, that's where he did grade school. And then by the time he was in high school, nagsolo na siya because he had to take up high school in Iloilo. And his family was
back in
Antique. And then he took up university here in UP, college. So ever since high school, solo na siya.
Right.
Tapos, I think he graduated at like 18 and then became like the youngest manager of like some pharma company at 21. Alam mo yun, parang
Wow.
it's so...
Hindi totoo. Kasi parang I really think
Ang fantastic ng
mahirap
stories
na
nila.
siya.
Na I'm sure mahirap yung pinagdaanan nila, for sure.
and yun, like, you know, ako kasi parang I
Tignan
was
mo yung mga anak nila.
Hindi kasi
DJ.
I was a late baby. So
Yeah.
yung sisters ko 2 years and then sister to brother 2 years. Tapos ako 7.
Okay.
So sila naabutan pa nila yung hindi pa marangya yung
Hindi pa
buhay
kayo
namin.
comfortable. No?
But ako, like, yun nga sabi nga nila, I was the first kid na pinanganak na may aircon na.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't know of a life without aircon. So yun yung lagi joke nila sa akin na ako yung, well, ako naman talaga yung parang pinaka-spoiled na in terms of material things. Kasi nga,
Chuchi.
hindi ko inabutan yung time na walang-wala
Wala
yung
pa.
family namin. Pero you know, like, I'm not gonna lie, I would never say that like natikman ko yung hirap ng buhay. Kasi growing up, we were very comfortable.
Yeah.
But we were never like, my dad would always buy the pinaka-basic na Toyota at the time. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like never
Hindi
siya
rin
bumili
lavish.
ng luxury car ever,
Right.
my dad. And even if he could afford it. Parang yung ano namin, they would always invest it sa mga property.
Which
we
was
would
the smart
travel.
choice.
Which was a smart
Because
choice.
ultimately, you know,
As in like by the
what
time
appreciates.
they passed away, like lahat kami merong bahay na titirhan. You
Wow.
know what I mean? So, yeah. I guess you can say that parang siguro tayo kasi middle class tayo eh. So, yun tayo yung perfect example nung pag tumingin ka sa taas, parang ang baba mo. Pag tumingin ka sa baba, parang ang taas mo.
rin.
So, nandun tayo sa like, minsan hindi mo alam kung ano ka. Pag nakita mo yung talagang walang-wala, you feel like, oh, I'm so fortunate.
Yeah.
Pag nakakita ka naman nung ano, parang inggit ka na,
Well, okay.
shucks, bakit sila parang ang
If we're
dami
being
nila?
objective about it, and I'm making a general assumption here as to your finances, but like generally, compared to the rest of the Philippines, we're already... Kasi parang I read somewhere before that if you're earning anywhere north of 100 to 150 a month, in your household na yan, you're already considered wealthy. So, alam mo yung parang... Pero ang problema rin kasi, merong mga tao that earn 150 a month, which is like, you know, it's very manageable, but it's also not lavish and it's also not excessive. And then you look up and then you see these people who are raking in literally hundreds of millions on a monthly basis. So, ang laki nung gap nung extremely wealthy to what is considered as wealthy.
Pero ito nga Kunyari. O sige, let's talk big. Let's get out of the country.
Yeah.
If you tell me how much money Jeff Bezos has for starting up Amazon or Elon Musk or Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Hindi ako nagagalit
Yeah.
Kasi this is a business and I'm more like inspired and I'm motivated and I'm like, wow, these whether I agree with their politics or their belief systems or whatever, let's just stick to how they made their money. Parang it doesn't infuriate me. Hindi
kasi
ako
ultimately,
nagagalit.
legitimate pa rin
legitimate kasi. Sabihin na natin na, sige, may mga problematic here and there.
Yeah.
I guess yung kasing lugar natin ngayon, nandun tayo sa kinukumpara mo yung sarili mo with people who earn billions, pero earn with quotation marks.
Yeah, kasi technically they stole it, di ba?
Yes. And I think that's the part that really gets you angry. And sa totoo lang we have turned into a cancel culture, di ba? The past couple of years. So every now and then may bunot. Iba to. Like you could feel the rage.
The rage. Yeah.
Collective rage. And of course we all have our personal, individual call on how angry can you be. Pero like, it's different. And
actually, doon lang din ako natatawa kasi parang I'm also shocked at how people seem to be surprised.
Na parang ngayon lang ba natin ito nakita? Hindi, you know why? Kasi parang
it's so visible na kasi now because people see it on social media. But my God, this has been going on for no matter what regime, it's been going on since I was born. Alam mo yun na parang there have been people in politics who have always been, ito na lang, ang supposed income ng congressman or senator, I think, I could be wrong, pero somewhere like 200 to 300K a month. Supposedly, if I'm not mistaken. And then you see them driving around, like you'll see all the 8 plates, you know what I mean? The special plates on the car, on these cars that are ridiculously expensive, that even for people who would normally earn 200 to 300,000 a month, nobody in their right minds would spend that kind of money just to afford these cars. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. You know what I mean?
Pa.
Yung houses pa lang nila, sabihin mo na, kunwari, may mga politicians dyan na nakatira sa Dasma, sa Forbes. Magkano ba ang Dasma? 400 million? 300 million? Easy? Mahirap na nga yata maghanap ng 300 million na lupa sa Dasma eh. Diba? And tapos magtataka tayo na parang, where does our money go? For somebody who's supposedly earning 200 to 300,000 pesos, you would have a hard time. I have lived in a condo in BGC na literal yung entire floor was owned by a general. The entire floor. And he's never visited any of the units. And each unit, sabihin mo ng, I don't know the exact layout of each unit, pero sabihin mo ng a 2-bedroom at that time there cost about 10 million pesos. So sabihin mo ng there are 10 units on that floor. 100 million na agad yung ginastos niya. Tapos never niyang nakita. So alam mong wala lang to sa kanya. Kasi ikaw, kung bumili ka ng unit, malamang pag turnover pa lang, nandun ka na eh. Isn't that rage-inducing? But also at the same time, we've always known that this was going on. Diba?
Alam mo, feeling ko it's really let them eat cake. Yung hindi naman ito yung worst, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sure there are
nagkataon
bigger.
lang na, biglang naging sila yung the face of corruption. When in fact,
kasi it's being flaunted in your face pa.
Yun. Pero yun nga, like we said, hello, even yung the one's tasked to, I mean, come on. I mean, you know what I mean. So,
sabi nga nila, ang magnanakaw, galit sa kapwa magnanakaw.
So, yung kumbaga, like the French Revolution, Marie Antoinette was not the most evil, the most corrupt, the most depraved of the royals.
Yeah.
But she became the face
of it, yeah.
And that was the one that, alam mo yung that little dink, yung parang,
tipped everyone over
yung parang
the edge.
Sa Jenga, that one block you pull out, that collapses everything.
Yeah.
Pero yun nga of course now everyone's saying like, let's keep this up, like, but kasi like, di ba now in Indonesia, did you see yung mga cars coming out of
looting the houses.
Tapos binabato yung mga cars
Yes.
ng mga government officials. And like, I mean, like, do we really want that to happen? I don't know, but there is a collective rage and the question is, meron ba siyang pupuntahan?
May pupuntahan ba siya?
Meron bang mangyayari?
Ang problema
Or
rin
will it
kasi,
just cool down a little bit and then before you know it, they'll
they'll
just be more discreet
Yeah.
and tell their children to stop posting shiz on air
Pero that's,
on social media. And then it just goes on.
Alam mo yung, okay, I'm sure that corruption happens pretty much everywhere. Not
Everywhere.
just here.
Yeah, totoo.
Pero alam mo yung parang feeling ko in other more developed countries, I guess what happens is, like, let's just say I have a budget of 100 billion for like some infrastructure project. 99 billion of that goes to the actual infrastructure project. And maybe the 1 billion, they'll try to be like, okay, pagkakitaan natin to. I know it's not ideal, pero alam mo yun, to some degree, ako nga, okay na yan. Parang, and it's bad because you're not supposed to want to settle for just that. But at this point kasi, what's happening is, parang 99 billion na ka, 1 billion na napupunta sa actual project. Alam mo yung parang, sige, magnakaw ka, pero gawin mo naman yung trabaho mo. Alam mo yung, ganun na lang eh. It's not even asking for a lot at this point, but it's gotten so bad, they're so brazen with it already, that like, yun na nga, normally, kung kunwari ikaw, sabihin na lang nating may anak ka, tapos nagnakaw ka ng pera, sasabihin mo ba sa anak mo, malamang sasabihin mo sa anak mo na parang, anak, huwag mo masyado ipahalata kasi nagnakaw tayo, di ba? Ganun eh, dapat. Pero wala na, they don't care anymore. They're just like, well, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, it's gotten to that point already where
pero
they don't
rin,
need to care.
Okay, let me be the one. I know ito yung the part that, I think most people don't want to hear. Pero ano talaga siya? It's systemic. And I'm not even talking about just government.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta look at, kasi like, you see it in the most microcosmic scale.
Yeah.
Yung corruption is like, it's not just about government officials. The smallest organizations.
Homeowners
the
organizations.
simplest, or ano. And you really like, alam mo yung minsan, pinag-uusap, oh my God, stop it. Shut your mouth. Alam mo yung minsan pinag-uusap, sige na nga, let's edit it a little bit. Yung kunyari yung something as simple as a 20K budget. May dayaan pang nangyayari.
Yeah. Of course.
No, you know what I mean? And sometimes, sige na, OA na kung OA. Pero yun, something as simple as humingi ka ng perang pan-tuition and then sabihin mo na binigyan ka ng 5K pero actually tuition mo 3K lang. So sabihin mo 5K na lang, sa'yo na lang yung 2K. Total, magulang mo naman yun. As corny as it is to say, it really starts there.
I think that's also encouraged by seeing kasi that bigger people are getting away with it.
Minsan kasi nakakagulat lang na here we are, like fist to the skies about how horrible these people are. Because I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it in other people.
Right.
Ito. This specific gulo na to, kita ko galit na galit sila. Gusto ko sabihin,
kayo rin, ganyan din kayo eh.
Girl.
Oh. Yeah.
Gusto mo bang isa-isahin natin to?
Papangalanan ba natin?
Gusto mo bang iupo kita sandali?
Kasi parang kilala ko to. Kasi parang kilala ko to eh. No, but just to add to your...
Pero gets. Yung parang like...
But yun kasi...
I know ang laki na nung job na hinihingi natin, which is to quote the Saint Michael Jackson. Yung the man in the mirror.
Yeah.
Kasi ito tayo galit na galit. Parang, okay, look
but
inside.
In your life,
wala
are you
ka pa
doing
bang
the same?
kinupit? Wala ka pa bang... Yung kahit something as simple as inuuwi mo yung toilet paper ng opisina sa bahay mo. Or, you know what I mean?
Iba yung sa hotel Yung sa hotel, bayad yun.
Bayad
So,
yun.
bayad yun. Okay na pwede
Kaya kung pumunta kay Isleño tapos merong nakalagay doon Shangri-La.
Huwag kayong judgy.
Huwag kayong judgy. Sa bunlong naman.
Pero okay, to add to that point, there was an event that I did before. And it's pretty normal, practice na kunwari ikaw, parang talent acquisition person ka. So, kinuha mo ako for an event. Kunwari lang. Sabihin natin, it's a whole day event. Magkano charge mo, Gino? Sige, 200 pesos. Okay, kunin kita. Sign na kita. By the time, siguro mga 3/4 into the event, I get a check from the accounting department of the production company. And the check is 500 pesos. So, times 2.5 of my actual rate. So, I'm like, guys, sorry, nagkamali yata kayo kasi ito lang yung rate ko. And they were like, what was told to us was this. So let me get back to you. They go out of the room. Talent handler comes into the room and says, I forgot to tell you pala, pumatong ako Ganito na lang, signan mo, tas kunin mo yung sayo, tas, we'll split the rest. And I'm like, that's not what I asked for. And you didn't tell me this. Okay lang naman na pumatong ka.
Yeah.
Pumatong ka 10, maybe 30%. Sige. Pero 250% yung pinatong mo. Ngayon, what would the client think na parang grabe naman sumingil to? And then you have the audacity to tell me na sign for it tapos bigay ko sa'yo. So I said, no, I'm not gonna sign for it. Called up the accounting person of the production company and I said, this is my rate. That's all I'm gonna ask for. I don't know what you wanna do with the excess 250 pesos that you have, but that's not supposed to be mine. Pero alam mo yung ganitong level na nga lang.
Totoo.
And even for mga homeowners association ng mga villages, may mga ganito rin nangyayari. So what more on a grander scale?
Kaya nga nakakaano. Like in as much as, you kind of like, oh yay, kahit papano, merong,
May movement,
maybe a small fraction of society is starting to, pero yung minsan parang talagang Sisyphus.
Yeah.
Yung that Greek myth na roll ka ng large boulder
above a hill.
A hill. Tas pagdating mo sa taas, gugulong siya ulit sa baba.
Yeah.
And then you do it over and over for eternity.
Yeah.
So medyo, I don't want to be the sad sack, the Pope of Mope.
Mm-hmm.
And
The
pero
Pope of Mope.
nakakaano talaga, nakakaano rin, like overwhelming.
Nakakadismaya.
No, when you really do a deep dive.
Yeah.
When you do a deep dive. But of course, on the surface, it's like,
It's great.
yeah, it's great.
Yeah, but yun lang. I hope it's
Kesa
sustained.
lahat walang pake.
I hope it's sustained and I hope that, something actually comes to fruition. And let's not forget that while, of course, we have our hatred towards these contractors and whatever, let's try to remember who gave them those contracts in the first place.
Yun.
Diba? Kasi that's just the root of it. This is Farmally 2.0. Diba? People were so mad at Farmally, but who gave that contract to Farmally? Who gave that, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Gilded Age came at the right time.
Yes. So, wala Inggit ka na dun sa napapanood mo sa TV. Furious ka pa dun sa... You can call yourself Ray G. Miller.
Ray G. Miller!
Kasi ako
from
naman-
the Indiana Pacers.
Furiosa?
Wow. Talagang nag-Charlize Theron siya, no?
Kasi I'm furious and you're filled with rage. Oh, what do you... but yeah.
Pwede ka bang angry Agassi? Ganun.
Yeah. So,
But okay, I mean, I know we got really carried away and, we gave in to our emotions.
yeah.
Forgive us.
We need to vent.
Yeah, but Gilded Age is actually a really good show. I must say. Like, I watched the first episode earlier.
Tsaka
And-
yung parang like, it's
Nakakatawa
fascinating.
lang. Oo.
It's fascinating when you
How
have
they used
this...
to live their lives also.
When you have this frame of mind where you're like, you mean you earned your money?
Yeah.
Ew.
Ew. It's supposed to be
I was
like,
born with it.
passed
Even
down
if
from
you have
generation.
10 times what I have, I'm superior because I was born with it.
nakakatawa nga kasi the first episode of
Di ba
Gilded Age.
nagbaligtad?
Yep. But now that's the case. But back then it wasn't. And nakakatawa because this is essentially what happens in the first episode is like family A and family B. Family A comes from like old money. Family B is new money, but a lot of new money. And they have this massive, beautiful house. that
Bigger
is
than everybody else's.
built super new, and they held a party. And then niece of family A wanted to go to the party. Like really wanted to go to the party. Parang in this day and age, parang, Dad, punta ako doon sa bahay nila kasi okay doon eh. Parang, it's so amusing din to see how people used to live like.
Yeah.
Na parang, I did not envy them. Like, of course, while they had a pretty comfortable life, I did not envy the amount of plastikan that had to happen.
And take note, even yung during those days, meron ng mga, they're Vanderbilts, they're
Astors.
Roosevelt or whatever. Yung mga those rich last names. Yung, ganun talaga eh.
Yeah.
Pag yung mga last name mo, wag na tayo mag-mention ng last name na dito ngayon. Yun na lang. Yung mga ganun na lang. Pero gets, yung parang,
Si Mayor. Ako, okay. Pwede ba? Dagdag ko lang Yan pa yung
sige,
pet
nako.
peeve ko. Anytime there's a freaking event, and anytime that there's like a quote-unquote honorable person, everything shifts to them. First off, di ba public servant kayo? That in itself, you're supposed to serve. Why are we adjusting to you? Whenever there's an event, there's a reserved space for mayor, for congressman, for honorable senator, whatever. What the F? Kinukuha mo na nga yung pera ko. Wala ka nang ginagawa sa trabaho. Kukuha mo pa ang parking? I-adjust mo pa yung oras ko?
I know the episode does not match our podcast
Nope.
title.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today. It's been how many years?
I know.
We kept it in check.
Yeah.
I think we deserve to let loose.
But
every
right
now
now,
and
it's
then.
unbridled rage.
So, you know what? Honestly, I've been such a proponent of letting things go. Because I don't want to be negative.
You don't want to be an angry person.
I don't want to
going
be
through
an
life.
angry person because I am an angry person. You know this. And I've been really trying hard not to be angry, especially in front of my kids. I just want them to grow up in an environment where anger is not the main emotion that's there. And while this contradicts my current, I guess, way of wanting to live life, for this specific issue, stay mad. Stay angry. Don't forget why we are angry right now. Because 1,000% sure, 2-3 weeks from now, something else will come up and we'll be pissed off. And this would have recessed into the back of...
Been a footnote.
Yeah, exactly.
Sana naman hindi.
Let's not...
Oo.
I mean... Nasaan na si Alice Guo?
Baka nasa Tarlac ulit.
Di ba? Nasaan na?
Ay. And there you go. Thank you very much for joining us. And
We promise by next episode we'll be back to normal.
yeah, we'll try.
Yeah.
But
Put on our clown faces and perform.
very Ridi Pagliaccio. Laugh,
Stay
clown.
mad,
Laugh.
folks. Stay mad.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.